Hi, Lunar. You can barely hear the music in the back. Hi, Prime. I'm early. Yes, you are. So how's your day been, guys? Boy, I got a story to tell. Oh boy. What's the tea? Hi, Songil. Good. Just got back from doctor's appointment and shopping at a thrift store. Nice. What's a thrift? I think she meant thrift store, but who knows? Maybe it is a thrift store. A thrift store. Thrift store, thrift store. Thrift store. Yeah. I think I've heard both terms before. I'm pretty sure she meant thrift store. Look, I gotta do something on a different computer. Hold on a sec, guys. Okay. So in class, right, I am history. We had to do a test. Our teacher gave us 10 minutes to study for a bit, and my super brain only remembered 3 things. Ouch. Thrift. Gosh darn it. It's okay. I figured he meant... but I wasn't sure. There we go. I figured he meant thrift. Yeah, I thought so too, so it wasn't bad. So I'm all freaked out. I'm not passing this one. Don't worry, you have other tests. You have your chance in other tests. You'll have your chances another day. Oops, wrong one. So what art can you dazzle us today? This is a random piece of art I'm doing for this character. Thank you. Thank you, Songil. I mean, actually, y'all should guess my score. I'm not going to guess your score. But yeah, so this is Witch Cookie. Somehow I ended up going back to some old Cookie Run Kingdom fanfictions I have and started writing for them again. And it was back to this girl's story. And I was like, you know what? I gotta give her a super cool wand. And this is the wand I came up with. I used to type in... I'm so used to typing in drift from the Transformers series, I accidentally typed it instead of thrift. Gorgeous design, thank you. But this wasn't the thing I was gonna draw for the stream, but I want to finish it, so that's what we're gonna do first before I do anything else. So surprisingly, I got a perfect score. Yay! So you did remember, or you just got very lucky. Maybe you secretly did remember some things. Hi, Casey99. No, I literally only remember 3 things. Well, your subconscious remembered the rest. It appeared so. What happened to my scattering? Spacing. I know there's... Hi, Strawberry. Hi, Wolfheart. Only 4 days until the Dogman movie. I hope you have a fun time if you ever go see it. I'm tweaking. I'm full of emotions right now. Okay. Is the music too soft? Is the shade shadow? And that's the wand. She has a very, very fancy wand. I'll probably work on it a little bit more later, because I gotta get to work on some other stuff first. For today's film news, the auction of the Wicked Witch's hat from the original Oz movie has been auctioned off, and it led to a fraud suit after the check bounced. Yikes. That's the most fantastic one ever. Thank you. Forehead. So I had an interesting week. I got decked in the face by a pole that I was trying to set up a fence for church. And one of the poles are plastic and bendy, so I was trying to put something on it. It sprung something in my face and hit me right in the head. So if you hear me say ouch every once in a while, it's because I forget there's a bump on my forehead. Gosh, you okay? I'm doing better. If you were there in person, the bump on my head was crazy. But it's better now, it's just a little tender. Tell me you're icing it. Oh, that was like a few days ago. It's shrinking now. I hope you're okay. That hat's hurt. Oh, it did hurt. I'm doing okay now. It happened a few days ago. It's slowly going away. They're making a Supergirl movie. Oh, nice. Okay, so what I actually wanted to draw with you guys today was some concept art for a script that I'm going to write for a screenwriting class. Hi, Stephanie. And I actually have the log line for my story here in a bit. And this is the log line. A werewolf pup is separated from the pack after a horrible raid of her home, but finds strength and family at an adventuring party. Together they journey to find her pack. How are you doing, Alice? I'm doing okay. I just told them about how I whacked myself with a pole and got a bruise on my face. Growing up has always hit or bumped my head a lot, even if I tried not to. They're making a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie. Didn't they make one before? That's good to hear, and oh dear, hope you're okay, Alice. I'm doing good. That was a few days ago. So come with me, guys, as we dive deep into D&D lore, because that's what the story is kind of based off of. That's why I said another. Oh, sorry. First, we need to find out what are werewolves in D&D. Or at least, what's their lore? Is there some things I can play with, or is there some off limits? So werewolves are chaotic evil, right? I guess they're just evil most of the time. Humanoid, natural armor in 12, and wolf in a hybrid form. Immune to bludgeoning, pierce, damage immunities. They're immune to piercing and slashing from non-magic attacks that aren't silvered. Okay. I'm doing good, Lunar. I'm doing well. That's good. I'm just drawing on my sketchbook. Nice. The werewolf can use its action to polymorph into a werewolf humanoid hybrid, or into a wolf, or back into its true form, which is humanoid. Its statistics other than AC are the same. Keen hearing and smell. The werewolf has an advantage on wisdom perception checks and rely on hearing and smell. Okay, this didn't really say much. And are they only chaotic evil? Cool, I always wanted to play D&D, but I don't know where to get it, but I have one now. I need to find someone to play with. I've wanted to play D&D for a while. I just don't know where to find a party to D&D with, so I just never really done it. But I do like watching other people, YouTubers, tell their stories of their D&D sessions. So writing the story is the closest to D&D I'm gonna get. Fractionary, okay. Shapeshifters, the werewolf can use its action to polymorph. We read that. Attributes. Where's their lore? Because I don't know if I want to make them a generic werewolf, because I do want them to become human, and they can either be human, a hybrid between, or flat out wolf. But I just don't want to do it like the standard traditional way. For some reason, I just imagine my werewolf kind of being more like a Selkie in a way, where they have... What's D&D? Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop game, a tabletop role-playing game. So you and a group of people can create characters of different kinds, and together you travel this make-believe world spoken to you by the dungeon master, as he unravels a story for you and your characters and your party to react to. So it's basically a massive role-playing game. Hi, Javan. That's the film news I have today. Oh, people are starting to complain about Disney theme parks being too expensive for the average American family, and how now it's a luxury experience. Yeah, pretty much. I think I recently just heard now that they're charging you parking at Disney. So that means even though you pay to get in, you have to pay a parking meter to stay parked there. That's just like one of the things I've heard. The OG role-playing game. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a Prime series called The Legend of Vox Machina is a D&D thing that someone made a show out of. Yeah. It was Critical Role, I believe. It's always been a luxury experience when I was a kid. I guess I was fortunate enough that I was able to go a couple times as a kid. In Disneyland. I never got to visit Disney World, though. I would have loved to visit Disney World, because how much more expansive it is. Okay, werewolf lore. Forgotten Realms. Wiki lore. I went to Disney once when I was 8, only because my dad had a conference in Orlando. Oh. I'm just here doing homework. Nice. I'm just doing stuff for my homework, even though it's not necessary for the work I'm doing. But I'm doing research for my homework, and that is studying D&D. Something had a group of non-evil werewolf worshippers, though most lycanthropes are drawn towards the worship of this person. So there are non-evil werewolves. That's nice to know. I'm just doing dogman doodles. Nice. Why is there not much lore on werewolves? Jeez. Where can a girl just get her werewolf lore on D&D? Why can't I have that? I never had been to any of the Disney parks. Aww. You gotta know where to look. Alright, let's see. I'm not gonna go on Reddit. Come on. Are both hereditary? A lycanthrope is both hereditary, the children of a lycanthrope are. Okay. Are the same and infectious. The rules distinguish between natural and afflicted lycanthropes according to the cause. Lycanthropes handle them by different rules. Hereditary lycanthropes can change shape at will and retain their personality, being in control of their actions. Infected lycanthrope shapeshifters are affected by the full moon, and they usually are not aware of their actions and act like aggressive predators. One time I got food poisoning from one of the restaurants in Disney. Yikes. What are you doing, dog? Hey, what are you doing? Sorry, there's a dog in my room, so I'm like having to somewhat keep an eye on her. And this was in one of the parks. Oh, yikes. My hyper-focus has recently zeroed in on Until Dawn. Oh, okay. Alice, sweetheart. Hi. That's not very magical of Disney. No, and plus, like, I don't know, going to any theme park, especially Disney, food is expensive there. So I'm like, you'd think they'd do a better job into making sure their guests don't get poisoned. I'm Star Darling, but I changed my usernames. Oh, okay. Hi, Star Darling. And like Stephanie says, language, but it's good to see you again. Most expensive food poisoning. Oh, yeah. I go by, Alice. Alright. Thanks for stopping by. Hereditary lycanthropes can change their shape at will and retain their personalities, being in control of their actions. Infected are not aware of their actions. Lycanthropes can assume the form of an animal, humanoid hybrid, in addition to their animal form. Most lycanthropes in animal form can communicate with animals of their type. In humanoid form, they can use weapons, and in animal form, they use natural weapons like corresponding animals. Did you figure out the Discord thing? Oh yeah. Let's see if I can access it now. Okay, so I think I gotta do that. Invite. Alright. Here we go. Why can I not? Alright, whatevers. Go into YouTube. Paste. Here you go. My Discord is fucked up and won't let me join. Oh no! Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you can get it figured out so you can join. I remember I got food poisoning. I remember I got food poison when I was younger when making a can of spaghetti and meatballs. The can that was dented and a piece of lead got in my stomach. Oh no. That's not good. I don't have Discord. It's okay. I have TikTok. I use the website instead of the app because my mom has a restriction on. Oh, okay. Okay, so the thing is, I guess I do want to wear wolf, but I don't want... I guess because the werewolf thing I have in mind for my character is that they have a wolf pelt, fur, and they wear like a cape. And it's kind of like a Selkie thing. Prime's food poisoning story now has me thinking about I nearly died. Oh jeez. But I survived even though I felt like death back then. Ah. I'm grinding on it today. I'm good today. Nice. I'm into Cookie Run Kingdom. So are we! Or at least so am I. Which server do you play on? Alice? But I got bullied. Aw. That sucks. Should probably close that. Hollyberry. Nice. So we're the same server. Oh, I actually made another OC. She's a mermaid princess, and her name is Ari. That's nice. I got a bit into Cookie Run Kingdom. Okay. Mentally, no. Not physically, yep. Okay. Not better, but I hope you're doing okay. Why can I not see? I think I want to change the tilt. I am. I have Cookie Run Kingdom, but I haven't played it in a bit. I'm kind of slowing down on Cookie Run Kingdom now that the hype is kind of... Shadow Milk High is slowly coming down. Still waiting for the next episode, though. Yeah, I've got no see who's 1 out of 8 siblings. None are adopted, though, but 2 are twins. Oh, nice. Who plays Roadblocks? I don't, but isn't there, like, another, Threadville? Isn't Threadville on Roadblocks, supposedly? I'm currently going through yet another life crisis. I know you'll get through it. Wolf heart. I figured out the next cookie. Who's the next cookie? Black sapphire cookie. Oh yeah, it's the other guy in the promotional. I'm saving up my cookie cutters for him. That's why I don't. That's why I'm not pulling for a candy apple cookie. I'm waiting for a black sapphire cookie. I remember another event in my childhood where I wanted more of the Flintstone vitamins, and I somehow figured out how to climb up and reach them and eat them all. Yikes. I have her, but I want shadow milk. I got shadow milk. I'm very happy, but my wallet is definitely not. Lucky. My wallet's not lucky though. Yeah, my vet tech degree course involves taking a calculus class, and even with a tutor, I barely passed high school math by the skin of my teeth. How am I supposed to pass calculus? C's get degrees, just aim for the C at least. Can you post it on your wallet isn't lucky? I mean, it isn't. I'm a broke college student wasting money on a gacha game. That should say a lot. Yeah, you get to make another baby character. Are you tired, doggy? Not much. Not much. My mom was worried about me getting sick if something happened from eating too much, but I didn't. Nice. Yeah, 'cause I hear the vitamin gummies, they're good for you in small amounts, but like not in gigantic one-time goes. Oh, bye, Alice. Okay, look, that's a cute face. I don't know, I really like my silky werewolf idea, and I want to stick to it. But you know what? Homebrew's a thing. We'll just stick to it and say that's just a unique type of werewolf, and just go from there. My YouTube is Alice Sweetheart. Have fun drawing. Thank you. Yeah, this is the 6th time I have to go back to college in the past 5 years, and I have reached a point where I'm thinking, BRBL. It's alright. By the way, I sent both the OCs on the Discord art section. Nice. Girl's got a wild hair. Now I'm looking up coats because should I go for a full-on like head or just it's just a fuzzy coat? Maybe with like ears on top. Thinking, you know what? F it. I'm going to my brother's college, taking fun classes and going where the wind takes me. Just don't end up in student loans. That's all. That's my only thing to say. Don't end up with student loans. Have fun, but don't go that far. Oh, sorry if I suddenly went silent. I'm inking the other character from my Welcome Home, Willy Wonka AU. Oh, nice. I made her a hunter OC. Her name is Elvira. And not only is she a vampire, she is a vampire hunter. I know, crazy, huh? Hey, I like using the name Elvira a lot. If you were to see my Honkai Star Rail character's name, it's Elvira. Genshin Elvira. Elvira is just like my go-to name, the MC name I have. It's cool to see it being used elsewhere, though. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need to look like a wolf. It can just be a hood. I have almost 10 grand in saving, so I'll need to take a summer job. That's still up in the air since you need a degree to get a non-dead-end job, and I've long accepted that college isn't for me. I wish you the best of luck in finding your way, Wolfheart. And there's her little hoodie. She has the cutest hoodie. I just reached the point I'm sick and tired of trying and failing over and over. I see. Ears. I want that hoodie. Sadly, you can't take her hoodie, but you can make a look-alike. Because she needs this hoodie to transform back into her wolf and or werewolf self. I guess I'm just gonna make a special type of homebrew lycanthropes. And that they do have a human form. But in order to have that human form, they gotta shed the wolf skin to make it look like a coat. And they better keep that coat with them or else they can't transform back. Okay, I need to shrink her a bit. Okay, I see what I want to do now. Alright, I'm back. Alright, hi Stephanie. I think I'm trying to get hired into the Fire Watch. It's a gamble because there are more people applying than there are Fire Watch towers. I wish you the best of luck, Wolfheart. Oh yeah, guys, since I am doing a D&D stuff, why not just get into the spirits of it and watch some Joe Cat as he explains D&D stuff to us.
It's too cold outside, what shadowy hints of my easy-to-miss social life is dying, and I also want to argue about how pop culture characters fit into alignment charts, so it's time to make like a bunch of famous voice actors and Dungeons some Dragons. Odds are plenty of you dorkbags have heard of the hobby,
Nice
but
hanging
have
out
as
with you.
little
Bye,
understanding
Wolfheart.
about
Thanks
how
for
it
hanging
works
out
as
with us.
anyone over 60
And thank
has
you for
about
the
being
film
content
news.
with living as a single childless adult who doesn't care about where they live so long as it's a roof over their head and the neighbors don't shout out racial slurs. Unless it's at half-elves, the filthy, knife-eared mongrel mutts. So print out some character sheets, go shopping for some loaded dice, pack some expired snacks, call up all those friends you can only tolerate, and put on your favorite wizarding hat. It's time to do some motherfucking role-playing. Welcome to A Crap Guide to D&D. Do you like hitting things? What am I saying? Of course you do. Everybody does. I most certainly do. All the time. Like now. And hitting things is the best thing about D&D. You can hit literally anything you want. Better yet, you can hit it with a big fuck-off axe while flying into a bloodthirsty rage so potent you could be forgiven for mistaking it for some kind of super rabies. The Barbarian is the best class for hitting everything and everyone hard enough they explode into a huge puff of confetti or a shower of blood and organs. What's the difference? They're pretty much the same thing. You get a D12 for your hit die, one of the only times you'll ever use a D12. But it does mean you'll be soaking up hits better than my pillow soaks up tears after I take a look in the mirror for a few seconds. You start with just about every important combat proficiency and any weapon of your choice. And if you're taking recommendations recommendations, I highly suggest going for the dual-wield chainsaw shotgun laser earrings with detachable missile launchers and drink dispensers. Ooh, and they have built-in cup holders, look at that. No tool proficiencies, but who cares? Nobody uses tools anyway. You pick them to add to your character for backstory purposes and then forget they exist because you only ever roll for skill checks anyway, you lazy, thoughtless gobblebright. Yes, I just made that up, and it's what you are, you stinky Feigl bitch. In fact, who even needs armor? Your pure, unadulterated chutzpah will block enemy blows better than even the shiniest of chainmail bikinis. Better yet, you have spider sense, which assists in you avoiding traps, spells, obligatory social events, and laundry. And of course, the signature trait of the barbar is being able to enter a ferocious frenzy of force that foes will fear for all their fannies. During your rage, you may be easier to hit, but at the game that you are better at hitting everything else. And not just that, your muscles grow to the size of crag-faced garmoofies.
That's a made-up word.
I don't care that the things I'm using for analogies aren't real. Intelligence is a dump stat anyway. That's why mine is the number that comes after 3. And now you know how to play barbarian. You're welcome.
Ah, Joe Cat. Oh, I just remembered my build autism community. One of the girls I know's boyfriend actually plays D&D. Nice.
Frail spellcasters? Whack. Close quarters combatants? Whack. Immobile tanks? Whack. Me? I'm tight as fuck. First time playing D&D, I realized I'm too cool for any sort of specialized role. But that was only because I hadn't figured out that there's only one way to play it right. With a sword in one hand and a harp in the other, shouting my greatness from the rooftops, laying bitches and slaying witches. Or is it laying witches and slaying bitches? I can't quite remember. I was too busy giving the tavern owner a reason to stay in business. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. The jack of all trades, master of none is still better than someone who only has one gimmick and has to hide for the rest of the fight because they've run out of class features and spell slots. If the sword and shield were an RPG class, it would be the bard, one that's good at doing everything and doing everyone. You can cast spells, learn tons of skills, support allies, harm enemies, harm allies, support enemies, woo crowds, boo crowds, and most importantly, lay dragons. It's the most versatile class, and its various archetypes allow you to fill literally any role, so who even needs anything else? Need DPS? College of Swords. Need a tank? College of Valor. Want to make rogues useless? College of Whispers. Need to get good at the game? College of Sit Down, Shut Up, and Listen. Your most important feature, Bardic Inspiration, is like the little girl Wolverine version of the Big Daddy Logan, and is absolutely game-breaking. By being a radiant concentration of pure awesomeness, you can allow anyone else an additional die to roll and add to almost anything. Think that weak-ass wizard won't be able to make the con save against that poison attack? Inspired! The fighter needs to land the killing blow on an enemy with a high armor class? Inspired! Your wingman just told you about a hot piece of sliz that walked into a high-class tavern and that he needs you to hype him up to be able to talk his way in and maybe nab a few extras on the way out for you? You best bet your ass that homie's gonna be inspired! In fact, screw your wingman, you can do it yourself. Jack of all trades and expertise means whatever you're bad at, you're suddenly good at. And whatever you're good at, you're suddenly unbelievably amazing at. Nothing can stop you, well, maybe except a pretty face. By playing D&D, you automatically sign an unwritten contract that forces you to write your character to fall under the purest stereotype of whatever class you pick. Everybody knows you have to follow that contract or else Matt Mercer will sneak into your house and throw foam noodles at you from the corner of your living room. All wizards are smartass eggheads, all rogues are kleptomaniacs, and all bards are lust-compelled sex deviants. It's just the rules, I don't make them. And of course, the main gimmick of the bard is that it's artistically expressive in some way. People usually think this means musician. That's because their brain are like this, while my brain are like this. They can sing, dance, paint, prance, make a pretty dirt drawing with a lance. Plenty of ways to further enhance the battlefield if given the right chance. Now you know how to play bard, you're welcome.
Guys, you gotta
Now
take just look how cute. I love the little tail I put on her. Sorry, I had to pause the sound just to appreciate just the fluff ball that is her tail right now. It's too cute. Okay, I'll put the stuff back on now.
This may sound rather odd, but sometimes the best in the squad is the one with the cross who can smite like a boss by harnessing the bitch slap of God. With a mace that even ogres will flee, you'll cast and crush things with glee. Some think they're not strong and those people are wrong. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. The support is someone everyone wants.
One day I gotta figure out if there's a way I can like dual screen this and I can have YouTube videos playing in the corner while I draw on the side, so you have more interesting stuff to look at while I'm drawing or not talking.
team, but nobody wants to be. Lucky for you, the cleric is like a support that decided to buy a taser after being too fed up with being told to heal the barbarian who ran into a 1v20 encounter. Clerics are the religious fandoms in the D&D world that are so crazy into their deities that they've turned their fangirling power into something that can actually pack a punch, having the same armor proficiencies as a fighter and the self-sustaining capabilities of a paladin that's been juicing with unicorn hooves and dragonborn acid. They have so many teeth-grindingly infuriating spells at their disposal on top of all that dungeon masters all over the world universally agree to ban clerics from the game so as to not make encounters absolute nightmares to give proper challenge without throwing approximately 20 black dragons at one cleric alone to keep it balanced. Spells like Flash Gordon, Buddy Cop Weapon, and Does My Hand Smell Bad to You are so stupidly strong at such a low level it's easy to forget why so many uncultured swine consider the cleric a designated healer. Anyone who does has either never played the class or considered the sword and shield a viable weapon in Monster Hunter. Wait, unlike most other classes, you pick your archetype at first level, and you have oodles, canoodles, and toaster strudels to choose from. To summarize, you have Heel Bitch, Nerd, Sunburn, and My Axe, Nobody Dies, Nobody Cares, and a couple of more that I'm too lazy to mention. Seriously, with how versatile and independently strong you can build a cleric, you can make up an entire party full of purely priests, call it the Amen, and bust down Tiamat's door demanding her lunch money. And she would just build her own toilet to give herself swirlies so she wouldn't have to endure the kind of bullying you're about to give her. Channel Divinity gives you special limited use effects depending on your domain, and can be as dumb as Turn Undead, where the power of the gods can make a zombie run away from you like it's regained its ability to smell and realizes you've been sleeping with your Jesus blanket that you haven't washed in months. Or as useful as Guiding Strike, where you can choose to add 10 billion points to your attack roll so you'll be able to swat one fly with another fly's deuce being whipped around on a string like a yo-yo strung around your pinky toe while blindfolded. The only downside is that you get a pitiful amount of uses, like a gym 2 weeks after New Year's. And finally, the most notable trait of the cleric is Divine Intervention, where if you are a good boy or girl all year praying happy thoughts and burning that dank holy kush, if you wish upon a star, the clouds in the heavens will part and the literal gods will stop playing their game of Jenga to fix whatever dumb problems you and your party have gotten into, and then avoid you for 7 days debating whether or not to write you a holy restraining order after seeing you piss your pants fangirling over your religious senpai noticing you. And now you know how to play cleric. Amen.
Would a... Well... Actually... I am gonna save that though. That's too cute.
I don't understand tree huggers. What has the environment ever done for us? It's not like it provides oxygen, resources for tools, housing, clothes, food, and technology or anything important like that. And it's definitely not like it's home to various species of plants and animals required to keep the ecosystem alive to continue to feed mankind's insatiable appetite to destroy, consume, and rebuild in his own image, ultimately resulting in the annihilation of the very world that brought him into existence. Nah, fuck all that. The environment clearly exists for us to skin innocent animals that are minding their own business so we can wear them as high fashion. I mean, just look at bears. All they do is steal my chips and shit in my backyard. Well, guess what, Yogi? It's payback time. And what better way to give it than undercover as one of their own? They'll never see it coming. Welcome to A Crap Guide to D&D. The druid is what happens when a ranger decides to fully commit to being a furry/hippie instead of just half-assing it because they're only trying to impress that sexy dryad they met in the forest that one time. They're primarily a casting class, but unlike clerics with their holy senpai, warlocks with their sugar daddies, bards with their awesomeness, or sorcerers with their rich magical parents' inheritance, druid's magic comes from Mother Nature, and from first-hand experience I can tell you now she's an absolute bitch. Shut up, bitch. At second level, you can fulfill every furry's dream and transform into an animal, but not just any old lameo neon-colored oversaturated mess like Arjun Darksnout the rainbow dog with an indie band t-shirt over there. No, I mean cool animals like my original character, Grabblejean, the nocturnal giant toad. Don't steal! Your archetype will be based around whether you want to be part of the forces of nature or if you want it to work for you. To list them off, land for different flavors of spells, moon for when you want to take your persona to the next level, dreams for if you secretly want to play a cleric, shepherd for if you want to be king of the wigglers, spores for if you want to reenact The Last of Us, and twilight for that sweet, sweet edge. Just like all the classes, your features improve with your level. Where druids differ is that their animal-related features mean that the beasts you summon or wear fursuits of don't necessarily get stronger, but rather they're thrown into the garbage and replaced by things with increasingly more fleas. Moreover, they gain additional features a regular animal couldn't imagine if it was high on devil weed, which gets fucking terrifying at later levels. Imagine this scenario. You're walking in the woods, there's no one around, and your phone is dead. Suddenly, spiky thorns sprout out around you, making movement painful. An adorable bunny rabbit sitting in front of you, seemingly harmless, suddenly starts shooting giant bees out of its eyeballs and turning the tree branches around you into black mambas. Design an encounter for that, Dungeon Master. And now you know how to play druid. You're welcome. fighter man. Overall he is fairly bland. Hit some stuff, hit some more. Outside combat it's quite a bore. Look out,
Discord. Nice.
he is a fighter man. Gee, I wonder what it does. It's a goddamn mystery. Who knows? I'll say it because nobody else will. If you pick fighter, odds are you're also likely to pick human because you're basic like that. And that's not just me saying that, it's science. Human fighters pop out of the woodwork like rabbits on Viagra because people are incapable of choosing something unique even when they're given options like playing as a kobold paladin who prays to asteroids just before they crush an unfortunate man's cabbage cart. Just look at me, for example, artistic phenomenon and originator of the satirical talk fast genre of videos. What do you mean I'm not the first one to come up with the idea? I don't need these lies coming out of you. Everything I make is completely original and everybody knows it. Come on, Master Chief, let's get the fuck out of here. Fighters are the purest essence of the combat side of D&D, all about hitting things hard and fast, getting into the thick of the fight, and hey, you get out of here, we're not talking about you. They're all focused around rolling more dice than a Limp Bizkit song, as well as being straight up easy baby mode because you get to start using any weapon you want, heavy armor, some ranged options, a free cheesecake, and a complimentary belly rub just for picking the class. Seriously, everything about it is geared towards being so noob-friendly, even a Monster Hunter longsword player will be laughing at you. If you feel so inclined during combat, you can heal yourself, attack twice, and take a second action to attack twice again, all in the same turn. And that's at 5th level. Not to mention you getting more ability score increases than any other class means that if you go a turn without hitting at least something, then you must have made some kind of D&D sin that angered Gary Gygax, like getting weighted dice or putting milk in before your cereal. Fighter flavors allow you to pick how you want to be hitting the bad guys, like being a magic bitch that can actually take a hit, or ride a bitch while you cut down a fool, or go all out sensei mode and just decide you want advantage for every attack this turn, so you're going to absolutely destroy a bitch. But odds are, knowing most fighters out there, champion is the best bet because it's basic. Yo, we heard you like fighter, so we put more fighter in your fighter. Just be sure to make your character a rough and grizzle-faced middle-aged straight white man with a two-handed sword and a mysterious and/or tragic and/or vengeful backstory just to fit the bill. Don't want to get too creative now, do we? And now you know how to play fighter, you're welcome. Hammer, bow, sword, and shield. There's no limit what you can wield. Plenty fights you have fought. Demon Lord's just another thought. This class, great for a newbie's first time. Plenty of damage to chime. Here comes the fighter man.
I want to hug her. She would very much appreciate a hug because she just lost her pack.
Oh, why? Because, bitch, you were taking too long. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. Fighting is like a science and can be used for either side of the moral spectrum. It can be used for evil, like punctuating arguments, expressing a salty loss, and beating up nerds, or it can be used for good, like self-defense, artistic expression, and beating up nerds. And monks are those who have trained heavily in the nerd beating up science of mixed martial arts, foregoing any sort of traditional filthy weapon proficiencies and instead opting for wanting to punch, bam, boom, slam, kick, punch stuff. You start with no armor because, like a barbarian, you have the ability to deflect and dodge attacks with the power of your unconstrained birthday suit. But unlike barbarian, you don't have to rely on the pathetic material world to explodify goblins. You have your knuckles. Martial arts training means you can serve up extra punchables for the bad guys as a bonus action, so no matter how you're doing as Mama said, you'll be dishing out more pain-induced fistings than two lesbians who consider watching porn as a reasonable substitute for sex ed. But it's not all coochie destruction. The monk is a slippery piece of work who's really good at avoiding any oncoming fistings, like a millennial trying to get their life together avoids self-care by catching them if they're a fist projectile or dodging out of the way if it's an area of fist. As you grow stronger, you can translate a fist if it's punching in a different language and avoid any infections if the fister forgot to take a shower that night. As a monk, your shtick is the key feature, but since I can't come up with any way to make this section much funnier, and also because key translates to poop in Thai, that's how I'm going to refer to it from now on. You gain more and more poop as you level up, and you can spend your poopy points on various skills to do all sorts of things, like stun people, reroll saves, mask yourself and turn invisible, and any other number of crazy things based on which anime you want to imitate. I would recommend Kensei so you could use the dual-wield chainsaw shotgun laser earrings if it weren't for the fact that every other archetype was just cooler in every way, wearing fancy outfits and taking the time to actually learn how to fist properly. Oh man, what a tough decision. Do I want to use a pokey stick or do I want to fire Hadoukens and Kamehameha blasts? What an enticing decision. I'm really gonna have to think about. Don't stop, we're in luck now! And now you know how to play monk, you're welcome.
Anytime I would do a request.
Boy, I love the smell of justice in the morning. There's nothing more satisfying than knowing the good name of Sword and Shield has traveled so far and wide that not even the Pokemon games are free from their incredible, awesome influence. And it's about time too. You think I created this series to entertain and inform ignorant whelps of great hobbies their miserable lives are missing out on? Fuck no, it was to enforce the mighty name of the one true weapon pairing that triumphs all others. And if anyone were to step out of line, I'd bring down the wrath of which tear-ass children tell their parents to scare them before bedtime, and then collect the aftermath of the pants they all shit because it makes for great fertilizer. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. Do you want to tank? Do you want to fight? Do you want a class that'll instill fright? Take up some plate and keep the goblins in sight, because you want to make sure they eat this paladin smite! The paladin is the first on a short list of hybrid-style classes, stealing a mix of features from both the fighter and the cleric, meaning it's better at physically painting the walls with blood than a cleric, but more gooder at grammar and spelling than a fighter. But it's also one of the few classes where role-playing becomes somewhat important. What? Role-playing in my role-playing game? They really should have put some kind of warning label somewhere. I'm not submitting to this shit. If I wanted to follow some sort of code, I'd become a pirate so that I could at least plunder some booty while I'm at it. Otherwise, fuck you gods. If you want me to play your game of ethics, you can kiss my shiny plate mail. Alright, fine, just follow the code and don't do anything stupid that'll cause you to lose your paladin privileges, like a spoiled rich kid who's upset that he doesn't get a fourth Maserati to crash. Like the other all-up-in-your-grill-style physical fighting classes, you gain proficiency with every goddamn combat-oriented item in the universe. And yes, that does technically mean that you can optimally play a paladin without a shield and not have to worry about being a less effective contribution to your party, but if you do that, I'm telling you now that you're wrong and I hate you and you're a big, smelly doo-doo head. As a resident big fuck-off bringer of divine justice, your job is to harness the power of holiness or whatever other wacky power, depending on what oath you pick, to have everything else die while they bounce off of your full frontal crusade like a turd in the wind. That's true for just about every combat-focused class, but the paladin is especially good at it, what with having the aforementioned fighter-cleric combo skill set. You get multiple attacks, channel divinity, a free vaccination, casting abilities, more auras than that one silly anime that nobody likes, which means you'll be so jacked that your mere presence will muscleify any nearby allies so that they look like a typical character from said silly anime that nobody likes. And lay on hands, a pool of health you can use to heal yourself or give a single hit point to your ally because that's all they deserve for not letting the rogue check the obviously booby-trapped room first. But we all know the real reason anyone picks paladin, and that's to never cast any actual spells, but instead use your spell slots to imbue your weapon with various flavors of smite! Because what good is striking down the heretics and heathens of the realm if it's not in the elemental attacking equivalent of your god sports team colors? You can smite with fire, laser pointers, brain freezes, sick bassy drums, and
cheese this is the hybrid form.
Sorry, I meant force. Force is what it says. What is this, Stargate? And now you know how to play... Wait a minute, what the hell is that noise?
They're hiding.
Just play a fighter with a bow, it's way better. Alright, fine, I'll talk about the class. Ranger is the other of the bisexual style of classes, where it likes fighter, but it also likes druid and flips between the two depending on which one looks cuter at the moment. Hell, it even steals a few things from rogue because it's so indecisive. And despite the name ranger, you're not actually restricted to use any sort of ranged weapon in order to be effective. As far as combat goes, you get the usual fighter but not really fighter set of features. Fighting style, all weapons, extra attack, spell casting, D10, hit die, hey Macarena. From rogues, it steals the ability to channel your inner chameleon and blend into the environment. Except instead of hiding in the shadows and watching where you step, it's more like putting on makeup, so you need to take some time, have a good look in the mirror, maybe look up some tutorials while you're at it, then start over when you realize you were using the wrong shade of foundation. From druid, it steals some of that being one with nature flavor it's got going on, and a whole lot of spells, but not without a few exclusive spells of its own, like having a target explode a bunch of thorns when hit with a ranged attack, plant arrows in the ground and turn them into proximity-based fireworks, except the gunpowder is magic and the lights are bits of enemy brains, and single-handedly the objectively best ranger spell, Swift Quiver. Not for the unlimited ammo, that's dumb, nobody keeps track of their arrows anyway, but because it turns your ranged weapon into a rapid-fire machine gun. But Joseph, you said you don't need to use a ranged weapon to be effective as a ranger. Those all sound like ranged weapon exclusive spells. That may be true, however. Anyway, when it comes to actual unique ranger features, you can use the power of racism to decide what kind of creatures you're going to perform extra potent hate crimes on, and preferred terrain, where you can pick your favorite environment, and after trotting around picking flowers or litter, depending on what it is, you can become a fantasy Bear Grylls, which is basically real-life Bear Grylls, except with a kobold crew filming you instead. And if you worry that that sounds too situational, and that if you picked a forest terrain and the entire campaign took place in the snowy mountains would mean the feature would be more useless than a football player who got tapped on the shoulder and started clutching their knees crying in the fetal position, don't worry, you're right, and it is. What isn't situational knows just about everything else involving the environment. You can sense what kids are trespassing on your lawn and then not have to worry about the weeds that might otherwise slow you down from catching them and giving them a good weapon! When it comes to flavors of the no really trust us, you can totally use melee and still be a useful class. You have Pokemon Trainer with a gun, like rogues but even dodgier, literally a monster hunter, thinking with portals, and pew 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 pew! Alright, let's address the beholder in the room. The vanilla incarnation of the ranger has a reputation of being less useful when compared to the other classes due to questionable abilities and how they function. That's not to say the class can't be useful or powerful in the right circumstances, but some consider the ranger's situational and sometimes underpowered features to leave something to be desired. However, there's nothing wrong about talking to your DM about changing how certain skills work, if that happens to be the case, so that you can have more fun at your role-playing table. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about how many numbers you can do to the bad guys, but whether or not you can shoot spikes out of the ground while firing bolts from your heavy crossbow atop a feathered velociraptor. And now you know how to play Ranger. You're welcome.
Jeez, I'm having a hard time figuring out the leg situation. What do I do with her legs?
Ever since I was a child, I had to grow up on the streets, wrestling alley bears for food and fighting guards for my own freedom. It was in those streets that I knew I couldn't trust anyone but myself. The only thing for sure was that I had to find the monsters who put me there, to exact my revenge, and finally put my restless hunger for blood at ease.
So is that why you're standing in the corner of a tavern conspicuously?
That's something deeply mysterious and intriguing for you to find out. But I doubt you'd understand all the pain and suffering I've had to endure to...
Alright
Take as
then,
many
I'll
breaks
see
as
you
need.
later.
I'm
Wait,
back
no,
now,
you were supposed to be
sorry.
deeply interested and
It's
ask me more
okay.
about my backstory.
You guys don't need to inform me like when you're leaving the chat or not.
You know what? I'm tired of being another cog in the machine of an adventuring party. I'm going off on my own, following my own creed and doing what needs to be done. That's right, I'm going rogue. Do you get it? Rogues are the sneaky, savvy, skilly-willy utility monkeys of the Forgotten Realms, and the best pick if you're a backseat gamer since it lets you interrupt someone trying their best because they weren't doing it right. However, if you want to Mary Sue it up even more than you already are, you also get expertise so that you can upgrade those proficiencies to anime protagonist levels of ridiculous. Now I know what you're thinking, this sounds a lot like Bard, and while that's partly true, the difference is rogues aren't automatically assumed to be the comic relief. Instead, they're deep, dark, and brooding, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, holidays excluded because who could be grumpy on Christmas? The other main difference is their unique combat feature, the sneak attack, and because the names in D&D are always inaccurate, you don't actually have to be low to the ground and covered in shit to deal the sneak attack bonus damage, but rather anytime the enemy's just not feeling up to it today and just wants to get it over with. This means if the enemy's being flanked, or if they're laying prone on the ground, or they just bragged about how high their IQ is, you know, things that would make them really easy to stab. You are, incidentally, not very easy to stab since you have a whopping 4 goddamn features dedicated to make you more difficult to pin down than figuring out if that teasing banter you had with your friend actually hurt their feelings or not. You can dodge when it's your turn, dodge when it's not your turn, dodge a giant ball of fire, and even dodge having to pay the bill on a first date. One especially unique trait of the rogue is their exclusive language thieves can't. Thieves can't what? I don't have the slightest clue, because it allows you to say a whole bunch of jargon that somehow translates into a completely different sentence. Timmy's having tea with the local blacksmith actually means let's go to the temple and steal some of the cleric's donations. Speaking of stealing, the thief archetype means you're especially fast at doing thiefy things, like picking locks, chugging potions, and hardcore parkour. Assassin makes your stabs extra stabby, and you can stab while disguising yourself as a child you saw who you can point to later and say they did it. Arcane Trickster basically turns you into a bard, except less talented or attractive, and allows you to hocus pocus somebody's wallet from 3 miles away. Mastermind is straight up Sherlock Holmes, complete with the assholery and catchy theme music. Swashbuckler won't stop bugging people to 1v1 them, and Scout, which is yet another better alternative to Ranger. Your job is to make sure everybody knows how much better you are at doing everything, because when the going gets tough, you know the party's going to turn to you one day and ask you to please pick the lock on the door to the king's castle because the bard accidentally kicked the guard in the genitals trying to seduce them. And you'll gladly show them all the skills you've learned from growing up in such a harsh and unforgiving environment that was once your home, forcing you to learn questionable means and morally ambivalent beliefs in order to survive. Just try not to cut yourself on that edge while you're at it. And now you know how to play rogue, you're welcome. Magic is dumb and stupid and makes no sense, and my brain hurts the more I try to figure out how it works. Except when bards use it, because bards are cool and mages are lame with their colorful flowy robes and giant obnoxiously fashionable hats. No, I'm not jealous, shut up! At the very least though, most of them work hard for their magical abilities, some of them cultivating it through skill and experience, others answering to a higher power, some having a codependent relationship with the arcane, and some lucky enough to have their parents bang a mystical creature and receive a small genetic loan of 1,000,000 mana. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. Get your stupid hats ready, it's time for the casters, where your weapons suck, your armors suck, and your martial skills are closer to that of the average D&D player. Instead, you'll be relying on the mystical, magnificent mass of magics. Except in this case, not really relying on it, more like bullying it into doing what you want. Sorcerers are those who disrespect the rules of magic and can easily manipulate it like it's some young adult who's desperate for food that isn't microwaved or takeout. Maybe that's why your hit die is the one used for Monopoly games. That's right, a pathetic D6, which likely means the DM won't have to do much to make you piss your pants in fear. The Cirque du Soleil's metamagic feature means you can enhance the spells you cast by paying off the essence of arcane with the inheritance money you got from your magical parents, and allows you to influence your spells to take on a variety of effects to your liking. Its effects include, but are not limited to, biased AoEs, angry AoEs, spells that gotta go fast, say, "Nuh-uh, I totally got you, I hit your shirt, clothing counts," get an extended spell warranty, double penetration, or even cast with the sound of your armpit farts if you don't feel like talking that day. And you can do all that and more by using your sorcery points, which has got to be the two most absolutely nerdiest words you could ever put together in a single phrase. It's also a weirdly effective safe word because it allows your magical BDSM to stop so your spell slots can catch their breath and recover. With archetypes, you have squishy clerics, zippy zappy, casty blasty, watch for the lightning, it gets nasty, darkness, 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 scaly and denial, and the only one that really matters, the Wheel of Wild Magic! Where you and whatever other lucky souls nearby get to experience the high-octane thrills of randomness. Think your pathetic magic missile just won't cut it? Don't worry, with the right kind of luck, it could suddenly open up a one-way portal to the fire planes. Who knows what crazy, helpful, and/or harmful effects could happen due to your gambling addiction? Let's spin that wheel and see how wild we can get! I may have spun it a little bit too hard because of my stonkingly huge muscles, so we'll just let that go for a while. Now, the main difference between the three arcane casters is how they get their magic. While wizards take years studying for the ACT and warlocks keep having to pay interest to their demon lord shareholders, sorcerers' magic comes from the fact that they were born inherently talented instead of needing to do any actual work. That's why your casting ability is charisma, because we totally need more of those, and just because you can cast spells doesn't necessarily mean you're smart. But who cares what's smart when you can cast big spells with big effects so your big numbers can turn the big baddies into big piles of giblety experience points. Insert fireball joke. And now you know how to play sorcerer, you're welcome. Well, shit.
As he started turning around for even half. It says, Wolf Buddy. For now, we're just gonna name this character
Hey you, yeah you
Key.
sitting there with your saggy butt cheeks and emotionless expression. I know what you're thinking. Boy, I wish I could cast spells, but all I got is an expendable firstborn
Key would be
child and a
very
willingness
happy.
to work under a questionably immoral arcane master till the end of time. Well, that's just the exact sort of motivation we like for our employees at EDB Incorporated. And if you sign up with us, we'll be sure you're treated in a way that you deserve for assisting in furthering our goals to bring about the ruin of the entire multiverse. All I need you to do is sign here and agree to give us eternal servitude of your mortal soul. But on the bright side, we have dental. Welcome to A Crap Guide to D&D.
Oh, Key is a cute name. Thank you.
So you want to use magic, but only as much as you want to hug that one family member you keep seeing at reunions, but aren't quite sure how you're related. Then you may want to be a warlock, the fake gamers of the Forgotten Realms. How warlocks differ from the other casters is that the amount of times you can cast your spells before running out of spell slots is absolute shit. Instead of having a set number of spells for each level of spell slot, you get a maximum of 4 spell slots for all your spells up to 5th level, and that's it. And a few other ones, but nobody cares about those. The flip side is that the spells you cast are always at their max level, and instead of having to take a long rest to get those slots back, all you need is an hour to have a wank, have a biscuit, and you're back on your feet. But you know what? Fuck real spells. You may think you're a caster, but really picking this class is purely an excuse to do nothing but cast everyone's favorite cantrip, Eldritch. Cast it at weddings, funerals, beach parties. Or you can just cast it randomly because the party's taking 5 hours to buy a single dagger from the shopkeeper and you're bored. Aside from casting nothing but Eldritch all day, the main draw of the Warlock is the fact that it's the greatest game of dress-up dolls of all time. Eldritch invocations allow you to custom tailor your Warlock so that it suits you better than my form-fit Kieran assless chaps. You can talk to animals without needing to cast a spell, go straight up invisible whenever you want, but most importantly, there are invocations that allow you to customize your Eldritch so that whenever you shoot your gobbledygook at whatever poor sap that looked at you funny, you can pull them forward and do your best Scorpion impression,
Taking
snipe
a
them from
cookie
2 blocks
break
away, or
from
make the
homework.
beam of
Alright.
arcane destruction smell like strawberries if you like. But it's not all fun and Eldritch because remember, you've signed a pact with a patron, so your power is being loaned to you from an all-powerful arcane sugar daddy. So you will have to pay interest if you want to make sure all that magic stays nicely tucked into your eldritch sack. Luckily, they're not like bank loans because you can actually pay them off, and they're not always inherently evil. You have the choice of being bossed around by a literal devil who decided to make you their favorite person, so they're gonna be your mommy for a little bit, a skeleton who ironically refuses to let you die because you still owe him 2 platinum, fairies who are just straight up assholes, gods, so you're basically a cleric now, literally Cthulhu, but forget all those because the only real option is to have your patron be a magically possessed sentient sword and shield that yells fuck when you swing it. Basically, you have such a huge amount of options to choose from with how you build your warlock, it's very unlikely any 2 warlocks will be the same. So get your shopping baskets, light some candles, have fun customizing, oh, and remember you have to sacrifice 3 more babies by the end of the week or you're fired! And now you know how to play warlock, you're
Hi, Stephanie.
Impressive, you know? I mean, I've never had a student score 0 in everything before.
What do you mean? I chose exactly the perfect spell for every situation.
Well, you answered Fireball for every question.
What's your point, person within fireball distance?
What I mean is you can't expect a big damaging area of effect spell to be the answer for everything. Maybe try some different spells, maybe minor illusion to trick the enemy. You can find a fae or a fiend to serve as your familiar, or even prestidigitation. It has a surprising amount of uses, even though it costs nothing.
I'm about to prestidigitate all over your desk if you keep suggesting lame-o spells.
What I'm saying is you should expand your horizons. A wizard is the apex of the arcane, the ultimate utility caster, and one of these days you're gonna find yourself in an encounter where Fireball isn't gonna... Where'd you go? What the fuck?
Welcome to a crap guide to D&D! The classic, the OG, the frail old man with a stick that shoots magic missiles at a few goblins and then has to go door to door telling his neighbors he's a registered hex offender. The wizard is the most powerful class if you ignore any other classes that are stronger, which are all of them, because this thing is more fragile than a single layered sheet of toilet paper that's been soaking in the soggy crack of the bridge troll's ass cheeks. This class is the sorcerer's lamer, more studious, dorky neighbor who does all the hard work for none of the recognition. You get saving throws and intelligence and wisdom instead of constitution and charisma, so sure you'll be able to ace that pop quiz and not have to worry about being distracted, but you won't be able to hold your liquor or score any hot dates at Chad Firebolt's party in the Golden Mansion his chromatic dragon dad bought him. If you're looking for the silver lining, the wizard is definitely the heaviest case of be careful who you call ugly in magic school. The wizard's spell list is thicker than the Storm King's thunder thighs, you gain spell slots like a shower drain gets hair, and during a short rest you can even choose a small amount of spell slots to recover depending on your level. Best of all, at higher levels you even get the ability to cast your favorite low-level spells as many times as you like. But who are we kidding? You're likely going to be dead before you reach that high, either killed by your own fireballs or killed by all your pissed off allies who were caught in your own fireballs. But hold your horses there, Mr. I actually believe wizard memes are as funny in the game as they are on social media. All your spells are tied to your spellbook because wizards have short-term memory loss, and unless it's a cantrip, you can only cast a spell if you have a 3-step tutorial with pictures to color. But the work doesn't just stop there. The stronger spells at higher levels are gonna need expensive magical components to cast them if you don't want to embarrass yourself with arcanal dysfunction and suddenly your finger of death feels more like a finger of mild discomfort. People say wizards are the utility casters because of the massive amount of spells at their disposal, many of which are apparently great for a wide range of situations. I'm here to smartly inform you that those people are stupid. Use Fireball and only Fireball. Nothing but Fireball. Just Fireball. Just Fireball. Just Fireball. Because they are the nerds of D&D, wizards have an unhealthy amount of knowledge of all of the different schools of magic, so instead of having their archetypes based around a certain theme, they get one for each of the aforementioned schools of magic, which is too damn many to go over, and frankly, I don't have the time or gummy bears to last a whole lecture. Instead, I'm going to quickly summarize each school of magic, and also war magic, cause fuck you, and I'm gonna do it all in song! Evocation elements to burn or shock or freeze your friends. Necromancy spares the dying, or you could just resurrect them. Abjuration keeps you safe and almost makes your armor fair. Divination helps you sense, detect, commune, and talk to bears. Conjuration, portals and make stuff for free. Transmutation, turn things into other things. With enchantment, buff to buff or in between. And delusion, visual tricks to prank the brain with fear and silence. Blur and go invisible, pretend you're someone else's dad. Disguise mislead, take on their life. War magic is like tank mage, getting lots of defense, flexing as you cast. And now you know how to play wizard, you're welcome.
The periodic table song, but D&D. What's this one? There's this one. This one's also a song by Joe Cat.
So you picked your class, hold on to your ass, it's gonna get crass cause race, part of the role you can play. Some sentient clay, a he, she, or they, a beast who gets real snarly, a regular dude named Charlie. If homebrew is free, a big talking tree. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. Arakakra, big fucking bird. You got some wings so you can fly, and if non-weapon melee's preferred, they get sharp talons to bit scratch a guy. Or maybe you're more of an Asimar, still avian, if you lower the bar, angelic people with radiant energy, or darkness if you flap your wings edgily. Bugbears aren't actually bears at all, more like beastly orcs and just as tall, but oddly sneaky and your arms are long, so you're really freaking good at playing basketball. But if going full beast is a little too far, you could always do half and decide to be a centaur, charging the enemy so they can readily get steadily back up by stomping them deadly. For sneaky bun, a crap guide to D&D. Arakakra, big fucking bird. You got some wings so you can fly, and if non-weapon melee's preferred, they get sharp talons to bit scratch a guy. Or maybe you're more of an Asimar, still avian, if you lower the bar, angelic people with radiant energy, or darkness if you flap your wings edgily. Bugbears aren't actually bears at all, more like beastly orcs and just as tall, but oddly sneaky and your arms are long, so you're really freaking good at playing basketball. But if going full beast is a little too far, you could always do half and decide to be a centaur, charging the enemy so they can readily get steadily back up while you stomping them deadly. For sneaky bunch, changeling's cool. You make a disguise, get a worthless tool. You can change your face to whatever race. There's nearly no limit who you can fool. Dragonborn, no, not the Skyrim kind, are likely the kid of a bard that'll find dragons really hot, so now you shoot acid. Or whatever other color your parents preferred acid. The typical dwarf with a beautiful beard. You work with your hands and are physically sturdy. You seem informed about rocks, which is weird. Try not to obsess or the session will get wordy. Elves are pompous pricks, a dozen flavors to match and mix. They live a long time, don't sleep instead trance, and are hard to be charmed, so bards keep it in your pants. Pick a fearbolg, a chill-ass cow, most of which have druidic vow, and don't ask how, but they can turn invisible, which is a big concern. Genasi, elemental genie bastards, one of 4 elements that they have mastered in some way, lets them do cool shit like waterbend or have a fire-breathing armpit. Githyanki and Githzerai, elves that look like they wanna die, all they're about is how they clash. Been around 40 years and their lore's still trash. Short stack, gnome, happy short folk who are smart and wise and cunning and know how to crack in the good camouflage, be it sneaking or magic or cool roguish montage. Whack is the goblin, small size hits hard on your noggin. Their nimbleness makes it hard to keep pace, they'll hide and bide, quick slide and hit your face. Muscles are in, though I have bias, so the hottest IMO is Goliath. They're 8 feet tall, have steel for their balls, and can shrug off damage like one-man riots. Half-elves, the mutts and mules of D&D, extra points to spend on 2 abilities and skills out the ass. It's the best of both races, and backstories usually come from stupid places. Half-orc, like I said, muscles are in. You're a ruthless brute who fights to win. Your crits get crits, and you can terrify, and if you feel like it, you can say no when you die. If your luck is nasty, the halfling's good. You re-roll ones and win like you should, and you're hard to scare, so go party with a dragon, and you can slip through if it's angry off the flag. And humans get a little bit of everything. They lack gimmicks or special flair or any zing, and are all around average. You know how it is, and the perfect pick if you're boring. Races, all the races. Races, all the races. There's plenty to choose from, too many, so come witness the list of this guide to all of the races.
And I'm still deciding, like, the party. The Gremlin makes me think of
They trust in a code, be it
It
god
kinda
or
does.
communism or giant toad. They're a prideful chode, so whenever you fail, the more watch you retry means you go beast mode. If you're an edgy avian, Kenku sneaky, agile and crafty and can easily lie. They can mimic voices to be a bit cheeky. Too bad they get bullied because they can't fly. The kobold is a mischievous one. They hate bright light, and there's often more than one. They can trick dumb fools, then steal their jewels, but ganging up together can be pretty fun. Guess it's scaly hours, cause lizard folk have sticks up their ass and can't take a joke. They can bite and craft and stay a while underwater, and have hard-ass scales to block cannon fodder. Loxodon are straight-up elephants. They're large size and thick hide and make them dense. Got trunks to smell and are wise and mostly merry, but piss one off and you'll see they're damn scary. Wanna breathe underwater? Lokatha is a fish. A straight-up fish. Literally, just a fish. Your armor starts high and get tons of resistance. Stay dry and you die, you're still just a fish. Big beastly bull is a minotaur. Got horns to charge if you run pretty far. Make them shit their pants while you're at it. Being big and scary is a habit. Speaking of, orcs, superstitious and strong, but also often wrong with a -2 to int. That's okay, so to say, you're aggressive and massive. Got angry parents means
Yeah,
they're
there's
rarely
gonna be an
passive.
elephant
Cat
character.
goes rejoice. Tabaxi's
There's gonna be
here,
a
obsessed with
Laxodon
stuff
in
and
the
quite the sightseer.
stuff.
Fast like a
The
cat, gets
Laxodon
claws and
is
climb
the
far. Tons of coats like leopard,
mother
tiger, and
character
jaguar.
that's
Tieflings are
collecting
demons
all
with a lot
these
of looks. They're
misfits
horny and hot and
in her
often a
party.
provoker in the lore anyway. A lot of hate. It's normal, I guess, when you're a panty soaker. If you want to be a big reptilian who's strong and hardy, then Tortle has a shell that's AC's a million, so have fun being a hermit immortal. Triton is just an aquatic elf who evolved itself in the continental shelf, and you're basically Aquaman. Fish can understand you. No, they won't do your laundry just because you demand to. The Verdant, like a goblin, but pretentious. Mind powers that make mystics contentious. Bunch of passive shit. What is this, peace hour? power? Come back and talk to me when you learn real power. You anti-pureblood like humans but snaky. Never make a date with one, I hear they're flaky. Manipulative bunch with magic resistance. Don't take their oral offer, no matter the persistence. Fair human mix is the Kalishtar. Got a lot of mind shit that's really bizarre, like telepathy. Dream protectively, like angels if they couldn't be effectively. The shifters, like a half lycanthrope with 4 different types with exclusive features. You can't transform, at least not fully, so you often look more like a freakish creature. Simic hybrids are a random fusion of aquatic things, like a squid or a crab. Gain bonuses, depending which one, so have some big pincers for new ways to stab. Warforged, robots forged for war, don't have to eat or sleep or breathe, and what's more is you're tanky as well, being hard to steal. The only downside is you'll never truly feel. Vidalkin tells us nobody's perfect. Look like Navi people without the long neck, they get lots of bonuses, so smart's not shocking. Good luck ever getting one to stop talking. And that's the lot, and always remember class race importance is pretty seldom. Use whatever you fancy, make a chubby fighter dancing, now you know how to pick your race. You're welcome.
Yeah, so there's that. Robot now. Apparently there are some robots. I don't know. I don't play D&D. I wouldn't know. Apparently there's a new race of owl people, so that should be interesting and fun. Where was my tavern music background? Where did it go? There it is.
At TJ Maxx, you can afford to turn your closet into a place of endless expression with the quality, styles, and prices you love. Max what makes you, you.
Key is going to have an adult farm later on. Or at least a teenager. But for now, we're just gonna draw her like younger form. So that's Miss Key. We're gonna draw one more character before we end the stream. And that's the Laxodon character. And for those of you who do not know, or we just heard from the song, Laxodons are basically straight up elephant people. These guys. Well, at least I got here to see one drawing. Hello. Hi, Nova. Now I know I can make my D&D character a half-elf human. Nice. I don't know how to draw elephants, man. So... what's your favorite D&D racing class? I do not have one since I don't play D&D, but I do like the concept of D&D and watching YouTubers who've played. But if I had to make a character right off the top of my head, I guess I would like a tabaxi race character who's, I guess maybe a fighter or maybe a cleric. Wait, I gotta find a name for her, or else I can't just keep calling her the Elephant Woman. I just got my school supplies and immediately started painting my school bag. Nice. I just had to start finally writing my webtoon when school was about to start again. As long as you can balance everything, I think you'll be okay. But if not, focus on school first. I guess for now we'll call this Elephant Lady Mother Nana. I think you mean Boom Shakalaka, Lunar. You got Book Shakalaka. Oops. Will she adopt Wayne? If they're a child that has no parents and are lost, most likely. Because Nana's backstory is that her Loxodons still have very elephant-like natures. They have, is it communities? What's it? Elephants form groups, but what is it called? A herd. She had a herd. She had her own kid, her own daughter. But her entire herd was slaughtered because of a raid. And she lost her daughter, her husband, and she felt very lost. And Nana's a cleric. That's her class. She's a cleric. She lost her husband, her daughter, her herd. So she herself for a time. Oh, elephants mourn a long time. Yeah, they do. And so does she. And her way of mourning is basically whenever she comes across lost children, she's quick to adopt them. She's like, well, you're my child now, so yoink. Lost child? Mine. Pretty much. That's pretty much what happens. Enerchuck is perfect for grabbing and hugging them. So in the story, Key's pack, she's separated from her pack because of a raid, and she ends up lost and by herself, and just happens to wash up near Mother Nana, and she's like, "Oh, you poor child," and basically just adopts her right off the bat, like, "Well, you're my child now." But when she does learn that Key does have a pack and wishes to return, instead of like trying to like keep Key, with a sad sigh, she packs up her things and readies her adventuring party, which is all of her children, and is like, "Well, let us go on this journey and get you home." Even if it does greatly sadden her on the inside. What's being worked on? I'm working on a screenwriting, basically a script, and this is the story. A werewolf pup is separated from her pack after a horrible raid of her home, but finds strength and family in an adventuring party. Together they journey to find her pack. Anyways, I sent you something. Pegasus on Tumblr. Okay, I'll make sure to check it out when stream is done. Because I'm still trying to figure out how to draw elephants. Yes? Yes, kitty? Oh wait, I forgot to ask, is this D&D related? Yes, it is D&D related. So this story is very much influenced by D&D logic. So yes, there are elephant people, there's tieflings, there's aliens, all sorts of races in this world. Got abandoned by her parents and currently is in the universe. She's 10. Oh yep. Mother Nana would definitely, without hesitation, adopt that child. I need to shrink down a bit. It was art when Stephanie requested me to do. Just letting you know what I said. Okay, thank you. Guess I need an enlarged. Anytime I think of elephants, I think of my friend elephant Burma. She was in the zoo, and the other elephants that was with her passed away. Burma came over to me anytime I visited that zoo. Aww, that's so sweet. I can't wait to write Mother Nana, because Mother Nana is such a sweetheart and so sad. Because even when Key eventually does return to her pack, I'm still deciding if she does go back or not, but if in the case if she does return to her pack, Mother Nana would tell Key this: no matter where you go or who you become, you'll always be a daughter to me. You'll always be my daughter. Yeah, Mother Nana is the sweetest. She's a sweetheart, and I love her. If anything were to happen to her, that meme. Pegasus, are you trying to make me cry? Because Mother Nana is the best character. Darn, I'm starting to realize I should have made her the main character, but now we're doing Key, and Key is good too. Oh no, did you just stab me in the heart? Dies from sweetness overload. She stopped coming to say hi when they got a new elephant in the enclosure. I'll never forget when she somehow got into the moat next to the fence and really got close to me. Aww. That is something you will remember for a lifetime. And elephants don't forget too. So I'm sure she'll remember you. Anyways, so I completely adore elephants now. So I very much love Nana. Aw, thank you. Okay, you don't see the other eye. And I think I gotta make this closer. Alright, now we have to figure out... Oh wait, her tusks. She got smaller tusks, but... Oh yeah. So the people in her adventuring party is really just basically all the children she's adopted. And they all class in different things. Like one of them is a tiefling who is a bard. She looks like a sweetheart, because she is a sweetheart. Her mourning takes in the form of basically empty nest syndrome. Give her so many hugs. Yes, she deserves all the hugs. But yeah, she's a cleric. For what she, I guess, prays to, since clerics do essentially do that. I haven't really decided on what that is just yet. But overall, she's a cleric, so she's a healer, and according to Joe Cat's song, just because she's a healer doesn't mean she can't deliver a powerful butt whooping. Just because she's a healer most of the time doesn't mean she can't dish it out. If anyone messes with her kids. But back to what I was saying, her party is of her children, and the one that we will see in the story is the ones that Keek ends up growing up with. And so there's a tiefling. One is a tiefling. One is a tabaxi. One's an owlin. First, she'll be senseless, then she heals you. And she has perfected the mother glare. Just that very silent, angry look that your mom gives you, that you're just like, I'm in trouble. Get rid of that. That. Any mama can be the most terrifying thing you'll ever see if you mess with their children. Or that look mom gives when you stay home because you're sick. Okay. Well, now we gotta find some clothing for her. She is a cleric. I still want her to wear... Although she does worship the earth, wouldn't that make her more of a druid? So chilly from Bluey. Yeah, kind of. I do like this. Alright, let's just open up a different one and see what cleric clothing we have. Yes, I'm almost done with your homework. Nice. Okay. She still has some jewelry from her husband. Her husband was a craftsman. And he wanted to decorate his wife in the most beautifulest of precious gems to show off how much of a treasure she is to him. And the gems in her jewelry will be gemstones, like, I guess, significant to whatever deity they worship, which I have not figured out yet. The most daunting thing about going back to school for me is the fact that I haven't told my parents I don't move back. I haven't told my parents forgot to mention we'd stay together term. Aw. Yeah, that's okay.
Guess somebody ate. Must have went out and ate, huh?
Auntie gave me lunch money.
Who?
Auntie Amy. I'll eat it, just not right now. I only told the friends that asked me about it or mentioned it. Oh, okay. Oh, better idea. So she looks adorable, beautiful. Thank you. Again, I keep forgetting to change back. Because nobody tells me. Like I said, you never give indications. Yeah. Special threading. And she wears a clerical dress-like thing. They have fingers, but... And right now she's holding a little egg. She looks boom shakalaka. Nice. Surprise bark. Yeah, there's a dog on my bed. I don't know if you can see her, but let's take a look. Yeah, there's a doggy on my bed. Her name's Merida. Her name is Merida. We're watching her for a few days. Watching your auntie's dog again? Mm-hmm. She's going on vacation to Japan. Oh, I have family in Japan. Nice. Is their name... I probably spelled it wrong. It's okay. I probably don't spell her name right either. Now I gotta go pet my dog. And there is Mother Nana. She's beautiful, thank you. Mother Nana is a sad and hurt soul, but chooses to take care of orphan children to fill the void in her heart. She's gorgeous, thank you. So, here we got Nana, Mother Nana, and Key, the main character. And just for size reference, I'm just gonna put baby Key next to her. Like Tori, yeah. Get down there. Laxodons are very, very big. That's how small Key is compared to Mother Nana. And to think when Nana's a teenager, she'll be like double her height. She'll only make, so if Key were to be her teenage height. Yeah, if Key were to be your teenage height, this is how tall she would be compared to Nana. That's kinda me. They're huge. Yeah, Laxodons can be 8 feet tall. Is that some sort of threat? Tiny critter, yeah. Yes, kitty? Woo! But yes. Thank you for joining me, guys. I'm glad you were entertained, and I'm glad you all like Mother Nana and Key. I hope to do more art for them soon, but until then, see you around, guys.